Balmy skin tints and foundations are definitely trending, and I am into it. So today I am reviewing yet another complexion balm, the brand new Clinique Daily Calm Makeup Balm. Sorry for the reflection. And I will also be comparing this to the other 4 balms I have reviewed in the past few months, including the L'Oreal Balm, the Laura Mercier Blur Balm, as well as the NoMakeup Makeup Balm, and my beloved IT Cosmetics Do It All Balm, to hopefully help you find which one might work for you. Now, the Clinique Calm Balm is $49, which does sound like a lot. However, this contains more product than the other 4 balms. You know, usually liquid tints and foundations contain the standard 1 fluid ounce of product, which makes it so much easier to compare prices. Not so with balms. All 5 of these balms contain different amounts of product, and surprisingly, Clinique at $49 is less per gram than any of the other 4 balms. But I will get a little bit more into the price comparison later in the video. And here are the claims. Clinique claims this will visibly even skin tone, soothe irritation, and improve the look and the feel of bare skin over time. I think all of these balms have some sort of skincare claim. The silky, non-greasy balm melts into the skin for sheer buildable coverage, and it contains blurring optics to smooth the skin. This will soothe visible irritation, leaving the skin feeling comforted so you can wear makeup even on your sensitive days. Interestingly enough, Clinique is the only balm that claims it can be used for post-procedure skin the day after, for instance, a laser. So that is a very unique claim. I don't know if I already said this, but the Clinique only comes in 8 shades, but again, they did say they were adaptable. Even so, I did go in store to swatch it, and I wound up picking up Light Medium 1, which is the second to the lightest shade. And it does work quite well on my skin tone. So there is Clinique Light Medium 1. And I am going to show you in comparison to the IT Do It All Balm, which comes in 15 shades. And I have the IT Cosmetics in Light Neutral 210. Now, even though IT Cosmetics calls this a neutral, it is definitely a little bit more on the warm side than the Clinique. I'm going to show you these swatched side by side. Now, right off the bat, the IT Cosmetics feels a little bit, I want to say balmier. It's a little bit, I don't know, creamier somehow. So there is the IT Cosmetics, and there is the Clinique. And let me put these on my face. IT Cosmetics, Clinique. Surprisingly, they do both work really well on my skin tone, so they are quite adaptable. Anyway, I will be applying these side by side to see how they compare on my 66-year-old very dry skin. I've already done my skincare and applied my sunscreen. And before we get into the skin tints, I am going to do a little bit of light correction around my eyes because I am going to use those as concealer. So I'm popping on some of my DRMTLGY Luminous Eye Corrector in the shade Medium, which is surprising. It comes in 4 shades. Shade Fair is the lightest, which is extremely pale, probably only for the fairest of complexions. Shade Medium is the second to the lightest, and it is perfect. The peachy tone neutralizes, I gotta get a little mirror here, neutralizes the dark blue purple around my eyes. It hydrates my eye area, and I literally use this product every single day, whether I'm wearing makeup or not. It just has a very light correction. Like I said, it neutralizes the blue purple without, you know, a lot of coverage. And let's see, is that blended? My mirror setup is a little wonky today. So I should have done one side first so you could see the difference. Just very, very light neutralization. I usually do use a concealer, but like I said, I'm going to use the Balms as concealer. Now, it's not quite pigmented enough to neutralize that dark blue purple on the inner corner of my eye. So I am pulling out my beloved Pixie Peach Corrector, which is a little peachier and a little bit more opaque, and it really is the only thing that brightens up that inner corner of my eye and sort of gets rid of that dark blue purple inner corner. So let me see, maybe a little bit more. Now, the Pixie Peach Corrector is a little bit on the dry side. It's a little bit too dry for me to use all around my eye, but it is perfect for that dark blue inner corner. There is no or minimal correction, and there is the Pixie. And I will correct the other side as well. And I use this little Real Techniques brush because it fits perfectly into that deep, dark inner corner. Like I said, I'm going to apply them side by side, and I'm going to use my BK Beauty 115 foundation brush because I have two of them. It's a really lovely foundation brush. I love the angle, I love the density, yet super, super soft. Now, Clinique did say to break the seal with your fingertip, and it even, I feel like it said it recommended applying with your fingertips. However, I just don't enjoy applying balmy tints, or really any tints, with my fingers. I always use a brush. And I have found it works just fine with a brush. So we will put the Clinique on my right side. And there it is. And oh my gosh, it feels very lightweight. It really does blend effortlessly. You know, one of the claims was it will melt into your skin, and I have found that to be true. And a little on my forehead. Now I have a little spot on my forehead which gives me an idea of coverage. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but my spot is slightly diffused, but it is still visible for sure. None of the, well, these two products I'm doing side by side are light, sheer to light coverage with very, very light medium coverage at best. So if you are looking for more coverage, these are probably not your products, but some of the other balms I'm going to be talking about do offer more coverage. Anyway, my gosh, that just literally blended itself. Let me do a little close-up here so I can get a better idea. I think the shade is really nice. Now, it is looking a little bit glowier on camera because I do have some lights on today. Super cloudy day outside, so I did need to try to balance the lights out. And as you know, I do struggle with lighting. And like I said, on the other side, I am putting on my beloved IT Cosmetics Do It All Balm, which is, I've really almost, I'm going to be hitting pan on this pretty soon because I have been wearing this nonstop for an easy everyday balm for months since I first tried it. Anyway, just dip in, pick up a little bit on the brush. And again, I got, yeah, there is the Clinique. The IT Cosmetics. You can see it's a little more yellow, a little warmer tone. Now, the IT feels wetter, and it also feels really cooling as it's going on the skin, which is a really unique feeling. I really love the way it feels going on the skin. But I do think this is just a little bit, I don't want to say thicker, it just has a little bit more body to it. And I think it is a little bit more moisturizing. Although the Clinique is definitely moisturizing as well. and on the forehead. Again, both of these are super easy to blend, melt into the skin. Sheer to light coverage, buildable coverage up to, again, a very, very light medium. So here is the IT Cosmetics, and here is the Clinique. And like I said, I am going to use these as concealer, so I'm grabbing my Angie Hot and Flashy concealer brush, and I'll put the Clinique over here. And I'm wiping the brush off because I only have one of these right now. And we'll use the IT Cosmetics on this side. All right. You know, they both feel very lightweight, yet moisturizing. I do think the Clinique dries down just a little bit faster than the IT Cosmetics, but they really don't feel tacky or sticky. So I am going to go off camera, finish my makeup, and then we will come back and see how they look side by side with makeup on. And I will also do some comparisons with the other 3 balms, including the Laura Mercier, the L'Oreal, and the NoMakeup Makeup Balm. All right, makeup is on, and I just went for a pretty natural summer look. I did find that both cream and powder products went over both of these products really beautifully. I pulled out my favorite cream bronzer, and it is the RMS Buriti Bronzer. This is such a gorgeous cream bronzer. Now, it looks really dark on my finger, but it blends out so beautifully. And it has the most beautiful, cool neutral with just a touch of, I don't know, red undertone. Perfect for sort of a sun-burnished look. I also use this in the crease of my eye. And then on my mobile lid, I pulled out my Merit Beauty Solo Sheen Shadow in the shade Glacé, just for a little bit of glossiness on the lid. I did use a little bit of blush, Revlon, I think this is Revlon. Maybelline Cloudtopia, I don't know the shade, but this is actually a matte cream blush, very pigmented. Little goes a long way, because I didn't want to, you know, I have enough glow probably from the skin tints. And I did set my under eyes and my T-zone with CoverGirl's new Skin Enhancer finishing powder. And oh my gosh, this is such a lightweight, silky finishing powder. Perfect for setting the under eyes without looking cakey. And I dare say it is as close to a dupe to the HourGlass Ambient Lighting Powder as I have ever found. Anyway, I will list all of the makeup and my jewelry and what I'm wearing in the description box below and in YouTube shopping if available, as usual. As far as the tints, oh my gosh, these are so incredibly similar. It's really hard to choose a favorite. So we have the Clinique on this side and the IT Cosmetics on this side. So I'm really splitting hairs here, but there are a couple of slight differences. I do feel like the Clinique might be a little bit lighter weight. The IT Cosmetics just has a little bit more creamy viscosity to it. It's a little bit more moisturizing, although Clinique is also plenty moisturizing. You might not be able to tell on camera, but I do think that the Clinique is a little bit glowier, but they both have a beautiful glow. Again, it's really, really difficult to choose a favorite. Neither one of them accentuate texture or settle into lines and wrinkles, and I have found that they both have a very similar wear time. For me, what I expect from an everyday, easy, out-the-door natural skin tint is about a 6-hour wear time, 6 to 8 hours. Both of these wear off gracefully by the end of the day without getting cakey or patchy or doing anything weird. So at this point, I really cannot choose a favorite. Now I'm going to compare these two to the other 3 balms. Now I have done dedicated video reviews on the L'Oreal the Laura Mercier and the NoMakeup Makeup. I will link those below if you would like to see these products in action. So I'm just going to sort of swatch and talk through some of the differences. So we are going to start with price. Now the Clinique Calm Balm is $49 for 1 ounce or 28 grams, making this $1.75 per gram. The IT Cosmetics is $34. However, it only contains 0.63 ounces or 18 grams, making the IT Cosmetics $1.88 compared to $1.75 per gram. So again, even though this is $49, it is the least expensive of the 5 gram for gram. Now, L'Oreal Drugstore, only $18. Only $18. We would think it is the least expensive. However, the L'Oreal only has 0.3 ounces or 8.5 grams, making L'Oreal $2.11 per gram. Let's see, NoMakeup Makeup, $55, but it only contains 0.2 ounces or 8.3 grams, making this $6.62 per gram. And the most expensive, and fortunately for me, my least favorite, is the Laura Mercier Blur Balm. $44, 0.17 ounce, 4.5 grams, $9.16 per gram. So again, ounce per ounce, gram per gram is really the only way to compare prices. And I do wish that the balms would be more consistent in, the amount they put in, so it'd be easier to compare prices. Now, while the IT and the Clinique are very similar, they are pretty different from the other 3 balms that I have reviewed: L'Oreal, Laura Mercier, and NoMakeup Makeup. Now, I am going to very quickly talk through some of the similarities and some of the differences, but I have done dedicated video reviews on all 3 of these balms as well. I will link those videos below if you would like to see these 3 products in action. Anyway, as far as the similarities, none of these balms contain any SPF, which is totally okay with me because I always use a dedicated standalone SPF anyway. But with the balms, you really don't apply enough product. So even if they did have SPF, you really would not get any sun protection at all. All of these have various skincare claims. They all contain really nice hydrators such as hyaluronic acid and glycerin, although only 2 contain skincare actives, and that would be the Clinique, no, which 2? 2 contain skincare actives such as peptides, and that is the Laura Mercier and the IT Do It All. But again, I never rely on my makeup for skincare. So, starting with the L'Oreal, and I will swatch all of these. Now, the L'Oreal is the only product, the only one of these 5 balms that does contain added fragrance. And the packaging is the least nice, although it does have a little mirror, does have a little sponge, which I've never used. Now, the L'Oreal comes in 12 shades, and I picked up the shade 3 Light, which is just a tad deep for me. This one has more flexible coverage. It can be applied very lightly, or it can be built up to a very solid medium coverage. I would say it has a soft radiance versus a glow. It's definitely less glowy than either the IT Cosmetics or the Clinique. Next up we have, where is it? The Laura Mercier Blur Balm. Now this one only comes in 8 shades. I picked up shade 3, which is a little deep for me. And like I said, this is my least favorite of the 3. This has a stiffer consistency. So there is the L'Oreal, and there is the Blur Balm. Now, the Blur Balm has very light coverage. Sheer to light coverage. I really don't think you can build up the Blur Balm to anywhere close to a medium coverage. It does blur pores, but the finish is incredibly matte. And on my 66-year-old very dry skin, it just sucks the life out of my skin. So I'm actually going to find a friend who will enjoy the Laura Mercier Blur Balm, because I am never using it again, at least not on my skin. However, I have gotten a lot of comments in the comment section of my review video, and many of you really enjoy it. So if you have more normal to oily skin, you don't want a glow, you want blurring and a matte finish, you might really like the Laura Mercier. And then we have, this is a fan favorite, the NoMakeup Makeup. Who is that makeup artist? She was really popular in the 90s, and she brought back her NoMakeup Makeup. This is a very unique product. It is very balmy, beautifully balmy. I have it in the shade light medium. This is very unique in that you can apply it very, very lightly for sheer coverage, or you can build it up to almost a very full coverage foundation. So this is the most flexible. I would say it has a really beautiful radiance, but it is not overly glowy. Now, she does have a video on her website on how to apply it, because the application is a little bit trickier. This doesn't necessarily melt into the skin as easily as the other balms do. You have to sort of buff it in, pick up a little bit at a time. If you apply too much all at once, it can be a little cakey. But this is a really beautiful, very flexible balm. And like I said, I can't believe how many of you have ordered this, and I've gotten a lot of comments that you absolutely love it. So those are the 3 swatches, and just for reference, I will swatch the Clinique. And oh my gosh, Clinique is really, really nice. I don't know, this is definitely giving the IT Cosmetics a run for its money. And I will swatch also the IT Cosmetics. My gosh, help. It has, I don't know, almost the creamiest, it's almost a cream. So, okay, what do we have here? We have L'Oreal, Laura Mercier, NoMakeup Makeup. What is this one? This one is the Clinique. Whoops. And this one is the IT Cosmetics. The IT Cosmetics has the most viscosity. I would say the IT Cosmetics is the most moisturizing. Okay, I got to get my notes here so I can tell you the other differences. Now, all 5 of these balms are very natural looking on the skin, not heavy or cakey or makeup-y at all. As far as the glow factor, the glowiest of all is definitely the IT Do It All Balm, which is also the most moisturizing, followed close second by the Clinique, almost as glowy and almost as moisturizing, followed by the L'Oreal. I would say the L'Oreal has a very soft, radiant glow, a little bit less glowy than the IT or the Clinique, but still has a really pretty, very naturally radiant glow, followed by the NoMakeup Makeup. It has a very soft radiance, not quite a glow, but a beautiful radiance. And of course, the Laura Mercier with no glow at all. Now, none of these accentuate texture or settle into lines and wrinkles. And like I already said, the wear time on the Clinique and the IT Cosmetics is about 6 hours. I do find the L'Oreal and all the rest of them have a little bit longer of a wear time, probably because they're a little bit more pigmented, they're a little bit less glowy. So if you are looking for very easy, everyday, light coverage with a little bit of glow, IT or the Clinique, I don't think you can go wrong. If you are looking for a little bit more coverage, for sure, the L'Oreal or the NoMakeup Makeup. And if you're looking for a blurring matte effect, definitely the Laura Mercier. Anyway, if you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a like, share, maybe even a That really helps support my channel, which I very, very much appreciate. And please share your thoughts on any of these products or any of your favorite products so we can all help each other. And with that, have yourself a wonderful day, and I hope to see you in my next video.